Hi. So I'm trying something new. I've just been sitting here today on a nice Sunday evening, and I was wondering about what to do, and I suddenly remembered this wonderful poem of Harivansh Bachchan, which I'm sure many of us, especially if we started in CBSE schools, we had it at some point, I think. And this is the first. I remember the first time I heard about this poem was say 15 years ago, something like that. I was something like 7, 8, 9th standard, something like this. And I remember being very fascinated by this poem, and that poem has stayed with me. And the poem, of course, we all know, जो बीत गई वो बात गई, जो बीत गई सो बात गई. And so, just from the title itself, I mean, it's very discernible that it's very relevant for the things that have happened to us, right? जो बीत गई सो बात गई. So, just as I was thinking about this poem, I thought, let me just recite this poem because I couldn't find a I couldn't find a detailed recitation of this poem, and I was like, let me recite this poem, and then let me ramble a little bit about it. And so here goes. Okay. Apologies at the very beginning because my Hindi has fallen off the rails last couple of years, but yeah. Anyway, जो बीत गई सो बात गई. जीवन में एक सितारा था, माना वह बेहद प्यारा था. वह डूब गया तो डूब गया, अंबर के आनंद को देखो, कितने इसके तारे टूटे, कितने इसके प्यारे छूटे. जो छूट गए फिर कहाँ मिले, पर बोलो टूटे तारों पर कब अंबर शोक मनाता है. जो बीत गई सो बात गई. जीवन में वह था एक कुसुम, थे उस पर नित्य निछावर तुम. वह सूख गया तो सूख गया, मधुबन की छाती को देखो, सूखी कितनी इसकी कलियां, मुरझाई कितनी बलरियां. जो मुरझाई फिर कहाँ मिली, पर बोलो सूखे फूलों पर कब मधुबन शोर मचाता है. जो बीत गई सो बात गई. जीवन में मधु का प्याला था, तुमने तन मन दे डाला था. वह टूट गया तो टूट गया, मदिरालय का आंगन देखो, कितने प्याले हिल जाते हैं, गिर मिट्टी में मिल जाते हैं. जो गिरते हैं कब उठते हैं, पर बोलो टूटे प्यालों पर कब मदिरालय पछताता है. जो बीत गई सो बात गई. मृदु मिट्टी के हैं बने हुए, मधुघट फूटा ही करते हैं. लघु जीवन लेकर आए हैं, प्याले टूटा ही करते हैं. फिर भी मदिराले के अंदर मधु के घट हैं, मधु प्याले हैं. जो मादकता के मारे हैं, वह मधु लूटा ही करते हैं. वह कच्चा पीने वाला है, जिसकी ममता घट प्यालों पर. जो सच्चे मधु से जला हुआ कब रोता है चिल्लाता है. जो बीत गई सो बात गई. I absolutely adore this poem. I mean, this poem encapsulates, articulates so beautifully what we experience throughout our lives. I mean, there's something special about poets, I think, especially the good ones. Someone like Harivansh Bachchan ji, where he encapsulates in such few words such a deep sense of emotions we feel throughout our lives, right? I mean, we've all been attached to things that didn't work out, isn't it? I mean, I remember when I was a child, you wanted to talk to some people, they won't talk to you. You wanted to pass some exams, didn't work out. You wanted to be popular in school, didn't work out. You had a crush on a girl, you were infatuated. You wanted to talk to her, didn't work out. Sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't, right? We get older, we go to university. We have different kind of pressures. Probably we get out of university, or well, probably we go get a job. I don't know. We do the various things in life. We didn't get a dream job. We wanted a job. We were attached to it. We wanted a relationship. We were attached to it. We got married. Our marital life turned out to be strange or sour for some reason, or turned out to be wonderful. Your kids, your parents, death, all kinds of things happen in our lives, don't they? We all know this feeling of "Jo beet gayi so baat gayi," and where is the poet coming from? Right? I think I'm just rambling about this and thinking about this because as in this evening I'm thinking about things which happened in the last couple of years in my life, which I probably was too attached to and didn't work out. And so, as I've had time, as I have had time to think about these things, um, and I was trying to articulate my feelings, I just felt that nothing articulates this these things better than this poem does. And the way he talks about it, right? जीवन में मधु का प्याला था तुमने तन मन दे डाला था. I love the fact that it's very, yeah, that he madhu and classically, as far as I understand, classically you would link madhu and madakta to being intoxicated by intoxicants, right? But it's such a metaphor for things we feel on a daily basis. We want something, we really want something, we really are somehow intoxicated by it. A certain kind of beauty, a certain kind of power, a certain kind of quality. I don't know. And we want it. We want that certain thing, money or status, fame. Um, I'm a I'm a mathematician by profession. That's a straight profession, but anyway, mathematician, and you're so guided by vanity, right? This is the thing. We're so guided by vanity, so there's always something going on. Um, but I just love the way he talks about it. जीवन में वो था एक कुसुम थे उस पर नित्य निछावर तुम. So beautiful, नित्य निछावर. Anyway, I wanted to think about this last paragraph, right? Because that's fascinating, and he talks about somehow at a very metaphorical level talks about why we get attached to certain things and what's really going on in there. So one of the things he starts off by saying is मृदु मिट्टी के हैं बने हुए मधुघट फूटा ही करते हैं लघु जीवन लेकर आए हैं प्याले टूटा ही करते हैं. And so as far as I understand, it's about saying that there is no reason why you would expect these containers of intoxicants to last because they're finite. And it's a deeper metaphor for things that happen in our lives. Things are finite. We're looking for things which do not last. There's no reason to expect them to always succeed or never fail for that matter. Because we just going after temporal stuff, temporary stuff, transient stuff. And so it's a distinct possibility, I think, that it's not going to pan out simply because it's a finite thing. So that's, I think, my understanding of the first four lines. And then he goes on to the next lines and he says, फिर भी मदिरालय के अंदर मधु के घट हैं मधु प्याले हैं जो मादकता के मारे हैं वह मधु लूटा ही करते हैं. Interestingly, he says, so the people who are attached to really are into madakta, or madakta probably stands here for you're really the really intoxicated ones, right? The really intoxicated ones. Don't stop when something like a mridu breaks down, something like a pyala breaks down. They don't stop. And I was wondering, but what does this mean? Because we always face this loss and we struggle with it. So what does he mean people who are really intoxicated don't care? And I got to thinking and I realized there is this question behind, and I think which is very fascinating. Something underlying behind this whole idea is that if you truly love something, you don't care about it getting lost. And so that's a very, very ironical statement, right? At a very superficial level, at a very, I think, somehow surface level, it seems like, man, this can't be true. I mean, I'm deeply attached to this thing. So if I lose it, why will I feel okay? Why will I be okay with it? But I think if you really, really like, you really understand something, you really want something, then you really understand why you want it, right? Then you really understand the reason behind it. For instance, in sciences, so as I said, I'm a mathematician. We're working on a problem, right? It's something we have felt when we were in high school, or it's the same thing you feel at a research level, but it's generally how it happens. We solve any problem in life, be it a mathematical problem, be a scientific problem, say you're struggling with some family problems, whatever, you're struggling with many things. And something I experience a lot in mathematics is, and I think generally in sciences, is that when you're working on a problem and you don't succeed, the chances are pretty high because it's a tough problem or it's a problem that has not been solved before. So you're working on it and you're not able to solve it. If you really are interested in the problem, you don't get discouraged because you understand, at least if you are good at trying to understand why it didn't work out, if you really figure it out, then you really understand what's not going to work the next time. What are different ways I have to attack this problem, right? I think this is somehow true of many things in life. I think this follows through even. Now I'm a little bit rambling and being unclear, but what I'm trying to say is that if you truly understand, you're truly aware of why you want something or why you like something, then losing it gives you a better understanding of things, of where you are and who you are and where you're getting to. And I think, as Siddhartha very nicely said these things, right? This has been my experience the last couple of years, but maybe it doesn't resonate with you at all. And maybe Siddhartha is right all along in Hermann Hesse's book, where he says that, yeah, knowledge, what you gain for yourself cannot be passed along. I can talk about things, but if you've gone through this, you see what I'm saying instantly. I'm not sure. But anyway, um, as Krishna says in the Gita, you have to be attached not to the fruit of the action, but the action itself. That's where your job is to do the action, not to be attached to the fruit of the action. Maybe that is somehow related to this. But that's a whole can of worms, which will take endless amount of time. Probably for another time. We'll see. But anyway, this is a wonderful poem, and I think I recommend this to anybody who's going through life and just is trying to figure out things. And I think if we really, really think about this poem, it's got a lot to give to us. Well, have a nice day. Ciao.